Hello and welcome. I'm Blair Blackwell, and this is the Daily Cyber Brief. Here's today's rundown of the biggest cybersecurity stories you need to know today. Good morning. This is the Daily Cyber Brief for Wednesday, January 28th. Here are the key cyber risks shaping today's session. An actively exploited single sign-on weakness in Fortinet infrastructure. A critical industrial control systems advisory affecting building automation, and intensifying data extortion pressure around a well-known consumer brand. Fortinet has started releasing updates to address a high-severity authentication bypass in single sign-on that is being actively exploited as a zero-day, with related impact to FortiManager and FortiAnalyzer. The company also confirmed it was seeing exploitation in the wild, and as an interim step has been blocking FortiCloud SSO connections from devices running vulnerable firmware. It's a reminder that identity and access paths in network and cloud management stacks are prime targets when attackers want privileged access with minimal noise. Nike is investigating what it calls a potential cybersecurity incident after the WorldLeaks extortion group posted a large cache it claims to have stolen, describing roughly 1.4 terabytes and nearly 200,000 sensitive corporate files. Analysts continue to note the shift from pure encryption to pressure campaigns that weaponize stolen data, timing, and fear to force payment. At the same time, researchers profiled a newer Sakari ransomware strain whose design quirks make it effectively non-decryptable, and whose identity signals may be a false flag, underscoring how even imperfect code can still drive harmful outcomes. On the critical infrastructure side, CISO republished vendor guidance for Johnson Controls building automation components, detailing a remote command injection issue that can lead to database-level manipulation and loss of data. Affected products include application and data servers and associated configuration tools used across commercial facilities, energy, government services, transportation, and more. The advisory carries the highest severity and recommends network segmentation and limiting exposure, with no known public exploitation reported to the agency at the time of release. Elsewhere in the threat landscape, multiple financially motivated and state-aligned actors are still exploiting a high-severity path traversal bug in WinRAR to gain initial access and deliver payloads. It's a long-tail reminder that popular client software becomes a durable entry point when patching lags. In the developer ecosystem, a critical flaw in the widely used VM2 sandbox for Node.js allows a breakout from the sandbox and arbitrary code execution on the host. Projects embedding untrusted code or plugins through VM2 face elevated risk until updates are applied. Following on from yesterday's discussion of email server bugs landing in the known exploited catalog, new scanning shows more than 6,000 SmarterMail instances exposed online and likely vulnerable to automated hijacking attacks. Meanwhile, WhatsApp introduced a lockdown-style strict account settings option intended for people at higher risk, think journalists or public figures, that trades some functionality for stronger protection against targeted spyware and account compromise. Looking ahead, expect additional Fortinet guidance and firmware availability as the company works through affected platforms, and watch vendor channels for Johnson Controls hardening updates tied to the building automation stack. Continued in-the-wild activity around WinRAR and rapid maintainer responses around the Node.js sandbox will be important to track. You should be watching identity providers and single sign-on pathways in network and cloud management tools, cloud-hosted management consoles, and internet-exposed mail servers. You should also keep an eye on building automation and other operational technology, endpoints that handle archive files, and developer build systems that execute sandboxed code. In short, identity and third-party components remain reliable initial access vectors, while data extortion tactics amplify business risk. Disciplined visibility, timely patching, and calm communication make the difference over the next few days. That's it for today's edition of the Daily Cyber Brief. Thanks for listening. I'm Blair Blackwell. This podcast is for informational purposes only and is not cybersecurity, legal, or financial advice.